Hello, I'm the Who Guy and welcome back to another video where today we're checking out History of the Daleks set 21 from B&M. Yes, this is the Eve of the Daleks set with two brand new Daleks to take a look at. These have had a bit of controversy to them, mainly because of the colour. We will get into that when we get into the review. We're comparing to other bronze Daleks. We're going to go through all the features, of course, like usual. Of course, B&M have put out two sets so far this year. I believe there's a further two to come, this one being one of them. And then, of course, we got the electronic TARDIS. And if you want to watch that video, you can click up there, where it will be a whole playlist full of figure reviews, including that TARDIS review. I can't wait to get these open. Let's get straight into the review. And here it is in its lovely packaging, as always, the Eve of the Daleks set, History of the Daleks 21. Of course, find in B&M stores, so the hunt is usually quite hard. This one did cost $21.99, so a bit more expensive than the TARDIS, which is quite surprising. However, we've got two bronze Daleks, well, I say bronze Daleks to look at in this video, and I love the packaging that they're using for the 13th Doctor. We've got this kind of red pinkish hue to the packaging, and of course we've got the date of the episode itself, the set name, as well as the character options logo, and we've got the 13th Doctor's TARDIS there on the bottom left, and top right we've got the Doctor Who logo. Diamonds showing that we have two Executioner Daleks to look at today, as well as that they are in scale with the 5.5 inch scale range, and of course that awesome limited edition sticker. Turning to the side of the box, we've just got more imagery of the Doctor Who logo, as well as contents of the set. And that is pretty much the same on the other side. And the top of the box has the logo and the character online website. And the bottom of the box has all the legal usual stuff, as well as the character online website. But of course, all the fun stuff is on the back. So we get a massive bio all about that episode, Eve of the Daleks, which is pretty cool if you're a fan of that episode, as well as the Doctor Who merchandise sticker on the bottom right. And of course, they are vacuum sealed into the packaging, which sometimes is nice, sometimes isn't. They don't really display too well with the vacuum formed. It would have been much nicer, I think, if it was literally just a window. But I guess we're going to have to damage the box to get these guys open. So let's get into them. And here are both of those Executioner Daleks from Eve of the Daleks, and well, these are quite the controversial set of Daleks, mostly due to the actual base colour used, and yeah, I think it would have just been so much better if they used the standard bronze Dalek colour that they have been using for ages. Of course, we will compare some previous sets to this. I think the colour's just completely wrong, if I'm honest. Just looking at pictures from the episode, yeah, they're not this dark. This is almost like a chocolate darkness to it. It's really just not what we see in the episode. And both of these Daleks are pretty much exactly the same. They only have minor differences, and that being name tags, as you can see there, are different underneath the eye. But apart from that, they are exactly the same. And, well, if you're not a fan of the colour, you're not really going to be a fan of this set. Of course, there are some new things on this set. Of course, the claw and the gun, both of them been sculpted lovely. And it's great to see brand new attachments for our Daleks, especially the bronze Daleks. They seem to have loads of attachments, and to finally get these ones in the collection is awesome. However, I just think the colour of the Daleks do kind of ruin this set. I must say though, in person, they are much nicer than I was expecting. They do have a nice glossy shine to them. They don't look matte or anything. I think that does kind of help. The gold used as well on both of them are quite light, almost silvery to a point. They are still gold, but just a real light gold used. And it just doesn't help, basically, with the darkness of the actual Dalek itself. Detail-wise, both of these Daleks are fantastic. They always have been. This sculpt is one of the most superior sculpts that character have made, and it is no exception here. You can just see how well proportioned they are, and it just starts up at the dome there. Lovely sculpts. Of course, you get the kind of Dalek light-up ears or whatever. They look really, really cool. The eye stalk, of course, looks amazing with really nice paint apps with the blue. And then we get the grille section, which once again has been replicated nicely. We get all the slats as usual, and then down to the hemispheres. They do look nice. Of course, the detail is fantastic on this Dalek. It's just the colours are off. Some people have been saying that this is, of course, from Power of the Doctor, but if they're from Power of the Doctor, then label that, but then they wouldn't have those attachments. So basically, they've just got the colour wrong, in my opinion. Some of you might like it, but for me, it's not fantastic. Coming down to the base, no wash on this one this time, and no bolts being painted. It's just putting this normal standard black. Overall, for detail-wise, these Daleks are really, really accurate, apart from the colour scheme. For articulation on these Daleks, of course, it is the usual, that being a full 360 at the head, and of course, the eye can rotate up and down. The machine gun's on a ball joint so that you can get loads of motion with that, as well as the claw, which can't close and open. It's always in this static open bit. Would have been nice if maybe we had a claw open and closed in this set, but we of course get the usual range of motion. And of course you've got the wheels on the bottom, which means you can roll your Dalek around on any smooth surface. And here is that comparison, and yeah, it is very obvious which one is accurate with the colour. This one is just by far superior with the colour. I do like this version of the Dalek. It does look pretty cool. It gives this kind of robustness.
Isn't that a word we use nowadays?
To the Daleks, however, yeah, this just feels more accurate to the bronze Dalek. So it would be nice if they go back to this, because I don't think this colour really works. But it is nice, of course, to get a variation with colour. Unfortunately not accurate, but I guess it will stand out in your collection for being different. Even the gold used, they've toned down on this new set. The gold used on this one just looks much more superior. Make sure to comment down below, do you prefer the older bronze or the newer bronze Dalek? That is it for this set. So is it my favourite? No way. It is not my favourite History of the Dalek set that they have made. However, I am less disappointed in this than I was when I saw the pictures. I think the colour used is completely wrong, but I do actually quite like it in person. It does look pretty cool and gives us a new variation of the Daleks. It's just, for accuracy wise, yeah, nowhere near. Of course, the brand new attachments are wonderful, and it's really nice to see that they went far out with the detail with the different name tags. So overall, a positive set, minus the colour. So comment down below what you thought of these Daleks. They're pretty neat, however just completely inaccurate. So make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I've been the Who Guy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Daleks must die. Daleks must die.